Can you understand and steel man the case for the drug trade on Silk Road? Like can you make the case that it's a net positive for society?
So there was a time period of when we found out the infrastructure and when we built the case against Ross. I don't remember exactly, 6 weeks, a month, 2 months, I don't know, somewhere in there. But then at Ross's sentencing, there was a father that stood up and talked about his son dying. And I went back and kind of did the math, and it was between those time periods of when we knew we could shut it down. We could have pulled the plug on the server and gone. And when Ross was arrested, his son died from buying drugs on Silk Road. And I still think about that father a lot.
But if we look at the scale at the war on drugs, let's just even outside of Silk Road, do you think the war on drugs by the United States has alleviated more suffering or caused more suffering in the world?
That might be above my pay scale. I mean, I understand the other side of the argument. I mean, people said that I don't have to go down to the corner to buy drugs. I'm not going to get shot on the corner buying drugs or something. I can just have them sent to my house. People are going to do drugs anyways. I understand that argument. From my personal standpoint, if I made it more difficult for my children to get drugs, then I'm satisfied.
So your personal philosophy is that if we legalize all drugs, including heroin and cocaine, that would not make for a better world?
Personally, I don't believe legalizing all drugs would make for a better world.
Can you imagine that it would? Do you understand that argument?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, as I've gotten older, I like to see both sides of an argument. And when I can't see the other side, that's when I really like to dive into it. And I can see the other side. I can see why people would say that. But I don't want to raise children in a world where drugs are just free for use.
Well, and then the other side of it is with Silk Road. Did taking down Silk Road, did that increase or decrease the number of drug trading criminals in the world? It's unclear.
Online, I think it increased. I think that's one of the things I think about a lot with Silk Road was that no one really knew. I mean, there was thousands of users, but then after that, it was on the front page of the paper, and there was millions of people that knew about Tor and Onion sites. It was an advertisement. I thought crypto was going to crash right after that. What people now see that bad people are doing bad things with crypto. That'll crash. Well, I'm obviously wrong on that one. And I thought, Ross was sentenced to 2 life sentences plus 40 years. No one's going to start up these. Dark markets exploded after that. Yeah. Some of them started as, opportunistic. I'm going to, take those escrow accounts and I'm going to steal all the money that came in, there were that, but there were a lot of dark markets that popped up after that. Now we put the playbook out there.
Yeah. Yeah. But, and also there's a case for, do you ever think about not taking down, if you have not taken down Silk Road, you could use it because it's a market. It itself is not necessarily the primary criminal organization. It's a market for criminals. So it could be used to track down criminals in the physical world. So if you don't take it down, and given that it was, how centralized it was, it could be used as a place to find criminals, right? As opposed to
the dealers, the drug dealers, taking down the drug dealers.
Yeah. So if you have the cartels get involved, you go after the dealers.
It would have been very difficult
because of Tor and
all the protections, the anonymity, decloaking all that would have been drastically more difficult. And a lot of people in upper management of the FBI didn't have the appetite of running something like that. That would have been the FBI running a drug market. How many fathers would have to come in and said, my kid bought while the FBI was running a drug site, my kid died. So I didn't know anybody in the FBI in management that would have the appetite to let us run what was happening on Silk Road. Because remember at that time, we're still believing 6 people are dead. We're still investigating, where are all these bodies? That's pretty much why we took down Ross when we did. I mean, we had to jump on it fast.